When I was working a job that I hated at a factory, all I wanted to do was earn money without having to sit at the computer or talk to anybody, without having to work so hard 12 hours a day. That is how I found digital products. The first digital product I launched was a software called Spawnly, a process where individuals can sell websites to businesses through Claude code. So in this video, I want to give the Claude prompts I use to launch your first product and business. Claude is not going to do all the work for you, but it is going to do a lot for you. All you need to do is copy and paste the prompts in the description, and I encourage you to do it alongside these videos because this video will be a lot more helpful in that way. So for our first prompt, you are a digital product strategist who just launched hundreds of small products for people with no audience and no budget. Now, the only thing you guys need to fill in is things I genuinely know about it or enjoy. And I said, I like keeping my life organized, budgeting, doing things like meal planning and going to the gym, right? Just put all the things that you like, nothing too small. I've seen people sell digital products on things that I think is mundane, but you only think it's mundane because you are actually skilled in it. So it may be like nothing to you, but for other people, it's actually a lot. Ask yourself, what do I do to earn money right now? I said, okay, front desk at a dental office. And then I said, how many hours per week? And I put it into this. I said, okay, 6 hours per week, and I want to make $1,500 a month. I don't really have any Instagram or anything like that, and I don't want to be in camera. So from here, I told Claude to give you guys 5 digital products to fit exactly the exact product, what it is, who buys it, and why. What's a realistic price? The thing about Claude that ChatGPT is not going to give you is Claude is going to be like, wait, hold up. You said you want $1,500 a month with no audience, no ads, no camera, and no daily posting. It says it's going to take about 9 to 14 months to reach that, not 90 days. It says in 90 days, a good result is, 250 to 600. So Claude is going to keep things very, very realistic for you because I know a lot of you guys are like, well, AI is just going to tell you what you want to hear. Claude is not really like that. And so it tells us a few options for our digital products. Now, with a digital product, is it just a PDF file or what? It is just a PDF or a file or whatever somebody downloads to start to use. An example would be like, a budget in Google Sheets or an Excel document or something. It could be to a 40 to 50 page PDF, 0 energy dinners, or it could be a profit tracker or a trip planner or something like that, or a Notion dashboard. These are all ideas that Claude breaks it down into a super step-by-step. So if you're unsure where to start, this is a really good place to start with Claude, right? And Claude even says, okay, here's what I'd build first. This is my number one. My recommendation, build some type of paycheck budgeting system for people who have uneven paychecks, So for the second prompt, just copy and paste it. I said, I'm building the first one. The thing that you have to do with this prompt is just get screenshots of similar products to the one that Claude recommended. So I can go on something like Etsy and just screenshot all of this. I might screenshot some reviews, anything that is a similar product, and I'll put those images into Claude. So you can see I have some screenshots here. And I said, okay, here are some screenshots of the products that are selling really well in this space. You can put the link, but a lot of times Claude won't be able to read it unless you're using the desktop app. So just be careful with that. And then I said, okay, I want you to break down why these digital products are selling. Because it's one thing for Claude to just tell you, these are profitable digital products, but you want to know why. So you can replicate it on your own without having to use Claude every time. So I said, break down the structure that they have, the size that they have, what is the promise, what is their title, their pricing, their design format, Why do people trust their product? And please tell me what every single one of them is missing, okay? Because based on what they're missing, that's an opportunity for me to create a product that actually does better. And I said, turn all of that into a master doc for my products, so that I can always reference this document. That's essentially like a blueprint or a guide I made specifically for my products. This is really good because any product you can reverse engineer. You're going to want to refer this whenever you're creating a new digital product in order to make sure you're already a step ahead of everybody else. Most people are not doing this step. Most people are just saying to Claude, okay, build me a dashboard. And Claude's like, okay, I guess I'll build you something. But this is what the actual winning strategy is. So now that Claude knows and creates the best-selling digital product, it's time for prompt 3, which is all about building it. So I said, all right, now build it, okay? Based on everything you just told me, build it in one section at a time. So Claude says, all right, I'm building the whole thing right now. So you can see it built everything we need to have a product and start selling by the weekend. Okay, so when I click on this, you can see that it opens up the side and it's already filled with example numbers and stuff. So we uploaded this to Google Sheets in Excel, and we can have a template that's already ready. Now, this is just tab 1. We have other tabs here as well, and we can see we have 10 tabs. We can have whatever we want to, really. That's the thing that I like about Claude. Things that you would have never had time to build on your own, but you have an idea, you know that it's a good thing that you would use and that other people would probably use. Claude can now make it in a few minutes. Now, I don't really want to have a product because what's the point of having a product if you can't actually sell it? What's the point of the next prompt 4, which is please build me a 30-day launch plan for this, okay? Tell me where to sell it. Tell me a day-to-day plan in 30 days. Tell me what is my offer, what is the price, and what's the numbers? How many people need to see this? How many sales do I need to make in order to be good? So from there, Claude is going again, make your plan. Now with this plan, I want you to go tell it anything. Any constraints you have. So if you only have 5 hours a week, if you have kids, you can't really record anything because they're too loud, or you have a chronic illness, maybe you're tired all the time. Just tell Claude that so it can make a plan. Now, with whatever Claude tells you, like it's saying, okay, I want to sell on Etsy, I want to create a community post, maybe in a Facebook group or something like that. You can use PayHit. You can use Pinterest, Facebook groups, TikTok, all of these things, and it even says, these things are not worth your time. Creative Market, Notion, and Blog, Cold DMs, TikTok Shop, stuff like that, they are not worth it. It's telling you to do this in 1 week. It breaks it down day to day, do this on this day and this on this day. So even if you're a beginner, even if you have 0 experience, even if you've never had a business before, you don't really need that with Claude because as long as you copy and paste, then follow the instructions it gives you, right? You can actually build a business. Now, of course, the main thing is actually taking action because I'm sure you've had plans before and you've never really followed through on them. Or maybe you've tried a bit and it gets frustrating and you don't want to do it anymore. That's what's going to make a difference this time, is that Claude can be that partner along the way if you are having days that you don't want to do it, or you're confused, you're running into a problem. All you need to do is screenshot the problem or describe the problem to Claude, and Claude can give you help. I hope this video is helpful to be the thing that gets you to start. Just put it in and see what Claude says. If you like it, maybe try it. If you don't like what Claude says, okay, do something else. But at least for now, you don't have to start from scratch. If you want more videos on how to monetize your passion or your hobby with Claude or ChatGPT, I'll put those on my screen. Other than that, guys, I'll see you in my next